Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Zohar, our energy encounter with the Zohar. This week's portion is Vayechi, which means and he lived, or to live. And it's in volume 6 of our edition of the Zohar. Those of you who've been studying with me for since 2020 know that this is one of the books that we did cover to cover. So, not that that's going to make the study any easier. This is very elevated material we're connecting to. Whatever we get out of it is exactly what we're supposed to get out of it. So it's going to play out exactly as it is designed. That's one reason why we're going to invite in the Kabbalistic lineage to help us. It's not just like paying homage to people. It's like literally inviting these souls in to assist us. And so let's begin by inviting in the Rav and Karen and Michael, Rabbi Schlag, Rabbi Brandwein, the Ria Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Avram Mazulai, Rabbi Menachem the Lavatepsk, Rav Kolon Mishpia Pia Setzon, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Shimon Bar Chai and Rabbi Students of Mordechai of Chernobyl, when Soul with Yosef Tzaddik, Joseph the Righteous in Shechem. Today is also the anniversary of elevation of Rav Tzvi Hirsch Shmulkus, who was a student of the Baal Shem Tov. So we have his assistance also today. As we connect to these verses, it is a unique opportunity for us to connect to the energy channeling through these letters, energy from the upper realm, from the flawless universe, from the realm of all fulfillment. So it's a really opportune time to send healing out to everyone we know who needs healing. So anyone you know who needs healing, as we connect to these verses, let's have them in mind and send them energy of complete and a full and speedy healing. Yehuda ben Ruth, Min Bat Chaya, Moshe ben Chana, Albert Melda, Melda bat Carmen, Dana bat Vicky, Yisrael Zeb ben Men Yerachel, Ariel ben Katova, Mir Tzvi ben Gittel, Nachman Chaya, Rachel ben Chaya, Jeffrey ben Fern, Shinel Vora Chaya Chana, Levi ben Bluma, Sarbat Perel bat Dita Reza, Sarbat Malka, Yis ben Rivka, Masbat Margie, Chan bat Rivka, Karen bat Sarah, Yehudit Masanavan bat Aviva, Ganesa Barachel Dinas, Carol bat Susan, Aviva bat Nina, Julia bat Yang. Let's also have in mind those souls that we know that have passed away within the 12 months. Let's send them extra energy of assistance on their soul's journey. Also, let's connect to the energy of Havat Chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone in the world with human decency, removal of chaos and negativity from our world, protection from evil eye and evil speech, ending the wars and conflicts in our world, the protection of all those in harm's way. So with that, we are again in volume 6, Vayechi. We're going to go to verse 105. And let's begin. Vayechi Yaakov v'gomer, Rabbi Chia patach v'amar, v'amech kulam tzadikim le'olam, Yeshu aretz v'gomer, Zakain inu Yisrael, yatim mikol amim, amin avodat kochavim. Dukushabrichu kara lon tzadikim, la'achsen lon yurutat almin, be'ama de'ate, lit agnaga behahu alma, kama dichtiv, Az tit'aneg al Hashem. Ma'itama begin demit dabkin begufa demalka. Tichtiv ve'atem hadvekim b'Hashem Elokechem chayim kulchem hayom. Okay, so Ron, let's read the relevance of this passage. But before you do, just again for some context. So this is the story in this week's portion. Jacob departs from the physical world. And he thought his son Joseph had been torn apart by wild animals. He thought that because that's what his sons told him when Joseph disappeared. So in the previous weeks, Joseph's brothers do their repentance, their tshuva, and Jacob reconnects with Joseph, and they all come down to live in Goshen, in this very fertile area in Egypt. And the irony of Jacob's life is that these 17 years become among the most fulfilling of his entire life. And not fulfilling just from having good times with the family. I'm sure they did that. Fulfilling from the perspective of his ability to connect spiritually. The paradox is he moved from the Holy Land to Egypt. We know Egypt to be a culture and an energy that's very tied to physicality. Literally, Egypt, Mitzrayim, the root of that word is about narrowness. It's like living in a very shallow existence, just a surface existence. And so, no accident that the Egyptians became like masters of embalmment, more so, I think, than we can do today, like what they were able to accomplish. They were all about mastering physicality, the 1%. So it's a paradox that in that 1% environment, Jacob was able to have such tremendous spiritual revelations, which he did. So, but again, his life, he leaves the physical realm, and this is the week in which he lives. It also is the week in which Joseph also leaves the physical realm. So, we have there's a lot going in, and it's a very powerful section. And I want to add that if you are connected to someone who leaves the physical world, one of the ways to assist their soul in elevating is by studying this volume of Vayechi, because it's all about connecting to eternal life, to immortality. So one of the huge opportunities we have is also connect to immortality, and also to connect to souls that have departed that we are still maintaining a connection with. And so if you want to assist that soul, especially during the first year, the first 12 months of where we know Kabbalistically those souls, that journey is the toughest in the first 12 months. This is a book to read to send them energy of assistance and comfort and energy of elevation on their journey. So actually, you could read it, you could read the whole book, or you could just read sections of it with that in mind. Because again, we're connecting to the essence of life here, which is eternal. Okay, with that introduction, Ron, the relevance of the passage we just read.
Okay, relevance. The power of the three-column system lies at the heart of this passage. The three columns refer to the following behavioral traits. Right column signifies a man's desire to share, the godlike nature of his soul. Left column refers to the covetous desire of receiving for the self alone, the insatiable impulses of the ego. The crucial central column correlates to a man's free will to resist his selfish desires and instead choose the truthful longings lingering in his soul, which include unconditional sharing.
Okay, so we have three columns that we know it's like a foundational Kabbalistic idea. And it's not so easy to wrap your head around it, especially initially. But even like the longer you're on this journey, it's still, I mean, maybe it's easier, but it's not so easy to think about it from a practical perspective. Like, what does this mean in my life? Three columns. What is this three columns? Like, okay, great, it's a great concept, but like, what does it mean to my day-to-day life? And again, from a Kabbalistic perspective, if we can't find present moment relevance in whatever is going on, we've missed the boat. So there's tremendous present moment relevance in understanding what those three columns are. And for us today, and for anyone else who watches this study afterwards, we really want to internalize and continue to internalize this three column system because it's everything that helps us navigate this illusion of physicality that we're in right now. So again, as Ron just read, right column is chesed. It's our desire to share. It's our giving nature. It's our supportive nature. It's our unconditional love. It's like all those most positive attributes that we want to show up like that all the time. Problem is that it needs to be boundaried. So like if we're too heavy on the right column and sharing too much, we're going to run out of energy. It's not sustainable for us. By contrast, the left column is this is gevurah, this energy of judgment, this energy of discernment, this energy of desire to receive for the self. We are beings of desire. There's no way around that. We are not here to restrict our enjoyment of the world. We need to do it in a balanced way. And so we're striking a balance between our desire to share and our desire to receive. We see this is out of balance all the time. We're out of balance with it. I mean, we encounter people who are out of balance with it for various reasons, traumas, just keeping the blinders on, not understanding that certain mindsets don't really serve us. So we want to be able to make that discernment between the desire to receive, the left column, and desire to receive for the sake of sharing, which is our right column. We want to share. Again, but it all starts with desire, and we're beings of desire. If you're here, you have a desire. If you don't have desire, we're not getting anywhere. We want to grow that desire. We just want to grow that desire in a balanced way. And ultimately, that's what the third column, Tiferet, represents. It's that balance. So when we can create that balance, we become channels for the light. And through becoming becoming that balanced channel, of course, we're going to benefit from it. That's how we are manifesting blessings. But we're receiving for the sake of sharing. So it's a great opportunity for us to think about in all the ways that I have a desire for things. A nice sweater, uh, soulmate, a nice dinner tonight, connections with people who I care about, who care about me, all the things that I want to think about it not in terms of desire to receive for the self, but think about it in terms of desire to receive for the sake of sharing. I want all those things so I can share more. And it's in that desire. I desire this to share more. It's really how we transform because it's against our nature. Our nature is just to receive. What's wrong with receiving? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just if I want to transform, I need to overcome my nature. We're the only beings that can overcome nature. Animals don't overcome their nature. We're the only beings that can overcome our nature, and we're here to overcome our nature. That's how we elevate our consciousness. That's how we elevate our soul. And when we start to elevate our soul, we start opening the channels up to manifest more blessings in the world for us and those around us. Okay, let's continue. Any
When a man,
questions? Any questions about that? Okay.
okay. When a man integrates these three columns into his life in a spiritually balanced way, he creates a circuit of energy igniting profound light in his life. The patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were the vessels and template that established these three columns in our physical world by virtue of their deeds throughout their lifetimes.
Okay, so as we're reading about the life of Jacob, we're reading about creating this balance. So it's a huge opportunity this week as he leaves to
Mhm.
create that balance. One of the Zohars we didn't read, but there are many of them in this week, is like the significance of when a soul leaves the world. We understand that when a righteous soul leaves the world, all the light they elevated, they revealed during their lifetime is available when they depart the world. So since this week is Jacob's departure and Joseph's for that matter, but since this week is Jacob's departure from the world, we have the opportunity to connect to all of the light that he revealed. And he revealed a tremendous amount of light. He revealed the 12 tribes, again, which gives us the opportunity to rise above the astral influences, the influences of each month, the influences of those astrological signs. Every month has a unique energy. So this gives us the opportunity to rise above those influences. They impel us, but they do not compel us. We have the opportunity to rise above that. And so many other things that Jacob was ever able to manifest. All that light is available to us this week as we read about his leaving the physical realm. Let's continue.
Upon their merit and through the mention of their names in this passage, we can draw upon their respective strength and wisdom to manage these three traits in a fashion that will bring forth spiritual luxuries into our own lives.
And by luxuries, we mean like good things, not just like, it's just like it's important that, there are a lot of spiritual disciplines. This is not to judge them, but they're all about like denying myself the pleasures of the world. We're not about denying ourselves the pleasures of the world at all. We're about doing it in a balanced way. We're about doing it with it to enhance our ability to share. And it's a core foundational aspect of what the Kabbalistic path is all about. It's not about denying ourselves. It's about viewing the world and viewing our role as an opportunity to receive for the sake of sharing. Okay, let's go to the English for verse 105, Aaron.
Verse 105. And
Do you
Jacob,
want to, do you want to add something?
actually, I do. Thanks for reading my mind.
I don't know if it goes that far, but
That was good.
I got a tip.
That was good. Yeah, there you go. You got a tip. Like speaking of the word luxury, I forget which teacher said this, but they said like it's okay to want luxury. There's nothing wrong with luxury, with the finer things, with really great things, but as long as you attach that with like, why do you want it? Like who are you going to share it with? Because if you're not sharing it, then there's no energy in it, or there's, you know what I mean? Like it's limited in that way.
I'm glad you bring that up. So, because I'm reading a book, it's floating around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I don't know if I've talked about this before. Jefferson Fisher, The Next
Ooh,
Conversation. This guy, he just started doing like, 45-second videos on, I'll post it to our group
nice.
if I haven't already. He just started doing 45-second videos on, social media, and he's all about communication. He has tremendous communication skills. He didn't really realize it, but the first video went viral.
Mm,
And so he has built this whole side gig. He's an attorney. He built this whole side gig about talking about communication skills.
Grab
So
a small something while I wait because it's been like I've been in the parking lot.
I recently heard him in one of his podcasts, or I don't know where I heard it. He talked about the point of intention.
mhm.
And so Ron's point, really, it's about like, where is your intention?
Yeah.
And that's what we want to think about all the time. Like, where is my intention? What is my intention here? What exactly is behind what I'm trying to do? Again, it moves us into like that observer status of like observing what we're doing and what we're thinking about what we're doing. Really, we're talking about what are we thinking about what we're doing. But Jefferson Fisher brought it up in the context I thought was a very interesting point. If someone says something negative to you, he's like, what did you mean by that? What were you intending to say? What were you intending to communicate? There's no judgment. It's just like, you know, and that's really one of his gifts is like the ability to take a step back and be the observer of communicative interaction, communications, like trying to understand, like you're putting it to them, like, is that what you really wanted to say? Like
Mm,
you're essentially asking someone what was the intention behind the words that they used.
mhm. Kind of like unpacking it.
Yes, but you're
Yep.
helping them unpack it because ultimately we know we're trying to restrict our reactive state. But what do we do when someone reacts to us? We're supposed to just take it. I mean, sometimes, depending on circumstances, maybe I don't have the opportunity to say something, but I really want to pause and feel what's going on. And he's also huge about the pause. He's like, that's the most powerful thing. It's amazing. It's the most powerful thing we have is the ability to pause. And he's like, you got to take a breath, two breath, a two count. And then an exhale. And then it's like, you're kind of like, it's a way of like grounding that pause with breathing. And that's you just say to somebody like, I'm sorry, could you say that again? Like if you ask them to say it again, they have to think about. They might say something in a reactive way, but when you ask them to say it again, you're forcing them to now think about what it is they just said. So it's a way of neutralizing those negative things that people say. Again, I don't want to be walking around judging people. I don't want to judge people for even the negative things that they say. They're saying them in many cases without really connecting to the intention behind it. It's a reactive intention. It's not even their intention. It's the opponent's intention. When you're reactive, you're allowing the opponent to take over.
Mhm.
So again, it's about intention. And for us, it's like us going through life trying to have awareness before we react so that we can be proactive in what we're doing. And it's a game changer in terms of the energy that is in the world. And again, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm just one person. Like, okay, so I have an interaction that could have gone bad, but ends up, moving in a much more positive direction. And like, what difference does that make to the, other, 8 billion some odd people in the world? Well, that's buying into this. That's buying into physicality. Yeah, I know there's 8 billion people here, and you're just one of 8 billion. That is not the way the math works at all. That's straight like quantitative analysis. It's the numbers. It's not what it's about. I mean, that applies in some situations. I got to pay the right amount of the bill. I got to pay the cashier at the grocery store the right amount of money. I mean, there's times where quantitative analysis is pretty important to navigate physicality. But we're not navigating physicality. We're trying to take the world to the next level. If we're trying to take the world to the next level, it's not about the quantitative analysis. It's about the qualitative analysis. Your one positive deed tips the scale worldwide. We don't see the significance of the things that we do, of the Zohar study that we're involved with. We can't see the impact it's having on the world. We lack the ability to see the world energetically on a grander scale. It's like, again, it's like that butterfly effect. It reverberates throughout the world. So your one deed is like it can be a domino effect across the face of the earth, across all of humanity. And for sure, our study of the Zohar is doing that, no question. We're injecting unlimited light into the world, unlimited abundance into the world, unlimited understanding into the world. So the more of that we do, the more the world actually moves towards a much better place, which is where we're heading, which is the end of pain and suffering in the world. Okay, Aaron, let's continue.
Okay. And Jacob lived. Rabbi Hia opened the discussion saying, Your people also shall be your people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever.
Okay, um, so paradoxically, and Jacob lived, that's the opening words of this week's portion. And so, ironically, but he's not living right now, is he? Well, again, the soul is eternal. So we're connecting to immortality in this line. And not only are we connecting to immortality, I see a world where the cup is half full and half empty all the time. This is us connecting to life, choosing life, to connecting to the cup, half of the cup that's full. And again, we look at the world as half full, half empty. We always want to connect to the half the cup that's full. It's not half full. It's an illusion. It's all full. There's unlimited abundance. So like what we allow to shape, what mindsets we allow to shape our view of the world determines everything. Your consciousness determines your reality. If I want to look at the world as a world of scarcity, I'm going to see scarcity. If I want to look at the world as a world of abundance, I'm going to see abundance. That's what I want to connect with. So I want to see all the areas of my life where I'm experiencing lack. I want to see those areas as fulfilled. Yeah, I know, but literally, it's not. It is. It is. I just am not experiencing. I'm just not feeling that energy. That energy is there. By the way, let me plug Michael Monica's Spiritually Hungry podcast, where she did an interview with Smart. What's her name? The woman, Elizabeth Smart. Who? It's a really, really remarkable story. If you think back, she was kidnapped from. She was asleep at home. She was kidnapped from her bed and held hostage for 9 months. And she talks about her, how she has navigated life from what was an incredibly traumatic 9 months. It's really it's pretty remarkable. And again, you listen to her talk about it. It's all about the mindsets that she uses to navigate her life. She talks about the things that she lost. I mean, these aren't physical things. It's just certainly her innocence. Certainly, certain aspects of her lifestyle would never be the same. But she demonstrates in her conversation with Michael and Monica that, she's always looking for where is the positivity here? Where is the light here? So again, for us, we don't have Jacob in our lives right now, but actually we do have Jacob in our lives. Jacob's always available. And you can go to Israel and you can visit his burial place in Marat Machpelah, where he, Isaac, and Abraham are all buried, along with the matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah. Rachel's buried a little bit off. You can go visit her too, but she's not at the same place. Like that's an opportunity for us to connect with these souls. But we're connecting with these souls right here. So another thing, and that is that in the beginning where it says Rabbi Chia opened, again, I want to emphasize that when the Zohar says that one of the great sages opened the discussion, it's not really saying Rabbi Chia opened the discussion. In the Aramaic, it's Rabbi Chia patach ve'amar. Rabbi Chia opened and spoke. It gets translated as opened the discussion. In a sense, he did open the discussion. But in a much deeper way, patach means he opened up gateways into energetic consciousness for us to connect with. And then he spoke about it. So the opening always happens first. Again, it's intention, it's consciousness. The opening happens first. Everything happens at the seed level before we begin to speak. So for us, it's an opportunity here to open up our consciousness, to look for openings, to look for opportunities, to see things in a positive light, to see where the blessings are coming from, to appreciate the blessings that we have. Okay, let's continue. And this is great. Look at the next. So in order to try and understand, and Jacob lived that verse in a deeper way, Rabbi Chia does start discussing it, and he brings a verse from the prophet Yeshaya. And what is Yeshai? What's the verse about? Your people your people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land. Now, is this about landman? Is this about real estate development? Is that what this is about? No, this is like what people are we talking about? We're talking about the children of Israel, and we're talking about our opportunity to inherit the land. It sounds like a real estate course or a trust and estate planning course, like inheriting the land. It's not what it is. It's about the children of Israel manifesting the deeper reality of physicality. It's like that falls on us. This physical world that we occupy is an illusion. What does it mean to inherit something? It means I control it. We control physicality. We control physicality with our consciousness. Again, it's an important way of understanding and looking at the world, not from the place of limitations, from looking at the world from an unlimited perspective. And if I, again, to get back to these aspects of our soul, I'm pretty sure there's a section in this week's Zohar about this too, about the first three of the five levels of our soul, which are nefesh, ruach, and neshama. At the level of nefesh, I'm a victim of all this physicality and this chaos in the world. That's a consciousness, but it's the most limited and narrow consciousness. When I move from nefesh to ruach, I'm now seeing that everything is really happening for me. And ultimately, at level of neshama, I understand that I'm just a channel. And that ties exactly into what we're talking about the three columns, and what we're talking about in terms of how we process this reality that we find ourselves in. Okay, so Rabbi Chia is going to help us with that. Let's continue.
Happy are Yisrael above all the other idolatrous nations.
Wow, that's quite a statement. We're happier? Really? What does that mean? Let's see. Let's continue.
For the Holy One, blessed be he, called them righteous, so they may receive the inheritance of the world to come, and delight in that world, as it is written, they shall you delight yourself in Hashem, then shall you delight yourself in Hashem.
Okay, what kind of happiness are we talking about here? What does it mean to be an idolatrous nation? What does it mean to be in the Aramaic? It's avodat kochavim. It actually means who like worship the stars. Don't we? We have astrology. So the distinction between Kabbalistic astrology and people and star worshipers is that we understand that those stars and those constellations are channeling energy into our world, and that we're here to rise above those influences that impel us. And not only are we supposed to rise above it, but the particular stars under which you're born, your astrological sign, is perfect for you. I mean, it doesn't seem that way. It seems like actually it's imperfect. No, it's perfect for you in giving you the challenges you came here to work on. Your astrological sign is like a reflection of the blockages you came to open up. I'm Cancerian. We have like fears. So like obviously I wanted a life to assist me in overcoming fear, which is one aspect of what goes on. And so like that's why understanding your astrological sign is so important. So it's one of understanding the stars that you were born under is so helpful in understanding and giving you context for your life's challenges. It's literally what our soul came here to work on. So that's what we're happy about. If you wake up on every day without anything to do, I mean, it's like, I don't know what kind of day I'm gonna have. But if you wake up every day knowing you're aligned with your soul's purpose, yeah, that's the basis for being happy. I know what I'm doing. It's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing at every moment. But do I know that? No, I got to work on that. Every day is a little bit different, and the challenges to present themselves. But if you're here to be working on revealing more of your soul in the world, of removing those blockages that are not letting your light shine. And each one of us has a unique spark that we're supposed to manifest and shine in this world. And is it easy? No. Is it joyful? Well, there's a lot of sadness along the way. So, like, is it really? And again, we've talked about this. It's the paradox of me being able to connect to joy while I'm sad, while I have challenges, because I'm doing the work that I'm here to do, and that's the difference. It's not. This is not about like different ethnicities experience the world differently. Maybe they do. I don't know, but that's not what this is about. This is about we're here to work on our souls. And when I'm aligned with my soul's purpose, that's the joy. Like when I know what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be working on, is a basis for joy. I don't have to guess what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't have to have uncertainty about what I'm supposed to be doing. But even as we're doing this, doubt is like trying to find its way in. The opponent is trying to find his way in right now. No, that's an oversimplification. It's so Pollyannish. No, that's the way the other side works, trying to undermine our productivity, trying to undermine the purpose for which our soul came here, trying to get us off track, trying to distract us, trying to get us to, beat up on ourselves, to go negative. I mean, at every moment, it's going on. That's the work that we have to do. Part of the work we have to do is to overcome those influences. Okay, let's continue.
For what reason? Because Yisrael cleaved to the body of the king, namely the central column. As it is written, but you that did cleave to Hashem your Elohim are alive every one of you this day.
Every day when we take out, excuse me, we read the Torah, the five books of Moses, on 3 days a week, on Saturday, on Monday, and on Thursday. And so when we have the opportunity to be there for that, we're really connecting to tremendous energy. Um, Before that reading, there are different verses that are read to give us the ability to enhance that connection. And this last verse from the fifth book, Devarim, chapter 4, verse 4, that is always one of the last verses that's read before the reading begins. Why? Because it's telling us about us when we are aligned with our soul's purpose, we're living. That's the life that we choose. And so it's a tremendous opportunity for us. There's so many amazing takeaways in this one little paragraph here. It's like, and Jacob lived. This is us choosing life. This is us choosing the purpose of our life, the meaning behind our life, the work that we came here to do. And that alignment is a basis for having joy in the world. Like I'm always doing what I'm supposed to be doing. When I'm working on myself, when I'm working to more fully develop my desire to receive for the sake of sharing, when I am connecting to the balance between right column, left column, and central column. And Jacob is that central column. That's the balance. And that helps us to align with our soul's purpose. Any questions? Comments? Okay,
I,
Ron, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
yeah. I just I love how you said choosing because I like you're stuck with what you avoid. You're stuck with what you don't choose or you avoid choosing.
No decision is a decision. No choice is a choice. Sometimes not making a choice is the right choice. I need to wait and see how things present themselves. But choosing to have a positive consciousness in a simple level, choosing to view the world as a world of abundance, as a world of opportunity, as a life that's meaningful, and doing the things that align with that's the goal. The goal is to live a meaningful life because a meaningful life is a rich life. You can be rich on a physical level and be very unhappy. So yeah, again, it's like it is a choice. It's the free will that we have. A those beings in the animal kingdom don't have a choice. They must stick with their nature. We have a choice. We can rise above our nature. We can rise above viewing this world as a world of chaos. It's not a world of chaos. Everything's happening for a reason. It looks like chaos. So again, I mean, we didn't get very far today, but again, it's not about the amount of material you would cover. It's like it's our opportunity to really unpack this information in a way that helps us reveal a lot of light, that helps us gain greater clarity about what's going on in our world and going on in our life. and to create a life that's more purposeful and meaningful. That's what we're here for. And I never know when we do this class. I don't know what we're going to cover. I mean, maybe some I know the material, but I don't know what's going to come out of it. And we're always going to be okay with that because that's exactly what life is like. I don't know how today is going to turn out, but I want to always be working on my mindset so that I can see the things that are happening are not happening to me. I'm not a victim. Everything that's happening is happening for me, and it's a consciousness that we have to always work on because the other side is going to always try and trip us up. Okay. Anyone with any last questions or comments or thoughts? All right, we're out of time. So I don't know. Time really flew by for me. I hope it did for you too.
Shabbat
All right,
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Love you all. Have a great weekend, a great Shabbat. Happy New Year, and we'll see you all on Monday, God willing.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.